Rumors have always accompanied popular media. Whether it's rumored plot spoilers for upcoming films, or tensions on the sets of TV series or movies, audiences are eager to learn more about the inner workings and potential stories of their favorite fictional works. This culture of gossip, as well as the spreading of various rumors and scoops, helps to maintain the hype and interest for specific films and TV shows in today's interconnected world. While I can see the advantage of people spreading rumors about things they are excited about, I can't see the benefits of people spreading rumors to discredit and destroy a certain work's reputation. But the blame should always go on the people who started the rumors in the first place, not just the people who propagate them. These rumors are created by establishing a very sensationalist story that is plainly not true, but in the midst of many people bickering about the validity of these stories, the only people who really benefit are the makers of these fictional works. I've seen these types of false stories on the internet before, but I've noticed that Matt Reeves' The Batman appears to generate these types of false narratives on an almost monthly basis. But why is this? What about this film attracts so much false stories? It's important to understand that The Batman was born from controversy. During its initial development, outside audiences were under the impression that Matt Reeves would serve as the director who would bring Ben Affleck's film to life. Despite the countless signs that Affleck was attempting to leave the project, many fans were still hopeful that Reeves' film would link to the DCAU by taking the form of a 1990s prequel film. Fans didn't know just how different Reeves' film had become until Affleck announced his departure in January 2019. Of course, this would send a ton of mixed signals. The film was being written during the entire Justice League fiasco, an event that caused many fans to lose faith in Warner Brothers altogether, viewing them as a corrupt and self-centered company that had no interest in a director's creative vision. Naturally, after Affleck announced his departure from the project, many fans viewed it as Affleck getting unfairly booted from the film in favor of replacing him with someone WB viewed as more suitable for their new direction. Of course, Matt Reeves had nothing to do with Affleck's departure, and Affleck most likely left on his own accord, but at this point it was too late. The Batman was already labeled by a minority as a film born from corporate greed and self-interest. May 31st, 2021, Robert Pattinson is officially cast as Batman. Some loved his casting, stating that he was a perfect choice to play the Caped Crusader, while others viewed it as a terrible casting choice, claiming that Pattinson was a god-awful actor with no ounce of talent. Despite the fact that he had played a variety of roles during the course of his career, his involvement with the Twilight Saga is unquestionably his most well-known role, as well as the one role that tarnished his public image. With the fact that The Batman will be the first Batman film in 10 years when it finally comes out, the film would of course generate massive amounts of eyes that very few DC films can match, especially considering how the film was born from unfortunate circumstances and the mixed reception of the casting choice. With such a high-level interest in the film, any news about it would receive a lot of attention, especially when it's coming from one of the leads. Pattinson as an actor is interesting because he comes across to me as someone who has both something to prove and nothing to lose. When he auditioned for the role of Edward Cullen, it was during a time in his life where he was desperate to find work, and even when he landed the role, he almost got fired for taking the role too seriously. You'd think that such a close call would teach him to be more vigilant and composed, but instead, he took every opportunity to mock the Twilight movies, even making some absurd claims on occasion.
When I read it, it seemed like it was a book that wasn't supposed to be published. If Edward was not a fictional character and you just met him in reality, you know, he's one of those guys who'd be like an axe murderer.
We've established that Pattinson is the type of person who's always cracking jokes and saying strange things, so it's no surprise that he'd say some things about Batman that many would consider questionable. From starting fan wars about if Batman is classified as a superhero, to stating he's not working out for the role, Pattinson has uttered a number of things that enraged many Batman fans. But what differentiated what he said about the Twilight movies to what he says about Batman is that Twilight fans understood that he didn't actually mean what he said and was simply messing around. However, because they were unaware of Pattinson's humorous nature, several Batman fans took everything he said at face value.
I'm Robert Pattinson, asshole. I don't do that. Screw you.
Of course, Pattinson actually worked out during the quarantine, and the article where he spoke about not working out was clearly written in a sarcastic tone. However, many people missed this because of their pre-existing animosity towards the actor and their refusal to read the original article. As such, the many interviews created a narrative that Pattinson was lazy, self-centered, and egotistical, and every rumor from now on would build upon these false assumptions. It didn't help that outlets created articles with completely misleading headlines that, let's be honest, a majority of people never read past in order to gain actual context. There's this word called confirmation bias, the idea that people interpret and search for information that substantiates their existing beliefs, especially if these beliefs relate to an incredibly personal or important issue. Many outlets and individuals are aware of the power of confirmation bias, so it's no wonder that every rumor builds upon every false assumption about Pattinson and appeals to the crowd that hated this movie from the start. Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz got busy on the Batmobile? Well, that proves that Pattinson is unprofessional. Pattinson returned to set skinny? Well, that proves that he's lazy and self-centered. Warner Brothers hate the Batman and wish for scenes to be reshot? Well, that proves that the film was destined for failure from the beginning. Of course, none of these rumors are true. The Batman will of course be great, and Pattinson is known for being passionate and respectful during filming. But the reason why these rumors constantly pop up on an almost monthly basis is because these rumors do generate attention and have an avid audience that genuinely believes every single rumor, because they'd rather have their beliefs reinforced rather than viewing everything objectively. In a way, these outlets are built upon false hope, and it's because of this false hope that they're still around after all this time. The hope that your favorite fan cast will come true, the hope that your dream project will actually be real, and the hope that your frustrations and anger are justified. False hope leads to clicks, which leads to articles getting spread, which leads to more profit for the outlet. Sadly, these types of sites will never be stopped, because there'll always be an audience that genuinely believes everything they say to justify their beliefs and hopes. The Batman is not the only film that generates these types of false stories, nor will it be the last.